Hi, you guys. This is Misty. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. Please make sure that you hit the like, the thumbs up, or make sure that you are following my channel for more videos. Leave a comment if it resonates with you. Um, and I'm just going to give it just a couple of seconds. Today I got just a couple of messages or downloads that I wanted to share. I will not be using cards per se for this message. Like while I was trying to clarify, like what is this message even about, I did pull some cards, so I'm going to share those with you. But it's not necessarily a tarot or oracle reading or anything like that. The way that I get my messages, I get them specifically, usually it's like through dreams. I'm clairaudient, so I might hear certain messages. A lot of the times it's through song. Um, I get, I guess, what people consider to be like claircognizance. So it's just like a knowing. So like it's just kind of like when people say a spiritual download, I think that's what they mean when they say like a spiritual download. It's just a type of knowing, like you don't know how you know or whatever. You just know. So I get those types of messages. Um, so I wanted to go ahead and share the title of this video. It says it's specifically for the divine feminine, or just the feminine energy. It says someone's trying to switch places with you, but not who you think. So someone's trying to switch places with you, but not who you think. And so this message started off with a dream, and I'm going to go ahead and share the dream. So in the dream, it was just really strange to me, and it took me a while to figure out like what does this even mean. But in the dream, I was walking up like a ramp. Okay, I was outside and I started walking up a ramp. Before I got to the ramp, I noticed like there were puppies just like all around, little puppy dogs all around. They all looked exactly the same. Okay. And as I walked up the ramp to kind of like a porch or something like that, I noticed that there were more puppies. And they looked just like the ones that were on the outside. And it was just kind of weird because some of the puppies, you could tell they were strictly, I'm hearing, for the streets. They were outside puppies. Okay. And then the ones that were on the porch were like indoor puppies. And I don't know, they were exactly the same. So I don't quite understand like what the difference of that is yet. Maybe I will. Um, but one of the puppies on the porch, went through a little let me see what's okay. So one of the puppies got out. And so for the puppy, again, they all look the same. So I grabbed one and I'm thinking, okay, I found it. I think this is the right one. And I brought the puppy from outside back to inside, even though it was like on the porch, right? And I brought this puppy in. And I think it's the exact same puppy. Well, this dream shifts like to another scene. And the puppy that I pulled back indoors was, must have been one that was for the streets. It was the wrong puppy. But I brought it in and I could see this puppy was just like a star of a show and was dancing and being praised, and that's what it loved, like other um animals were like praising it or something like that, and it was just kind of like dancing around. And I was watching it, and it turns around and smirks, like it looks at me and it smirks. But it wasn't even a dog, it was a cat. And it had somehow like arranged its fur like, I don't know, I'm imagining like with some type of product or something. I don't ask me how it would have done this, but it was a cat all along. Like, it being a dog was an illusion. It was never ever a dog. It was always a cat. It was always a cat, but it had arranged its fur like to create this illusion so that I thought it was a dog. So weird. And while I was just kind of thinking about that dream, a couple of things came to, I started hearing a couple of things. The first one was, why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog in me. I've been hearing that. And what I was getting from that is that divine feminine, I don't know. Um, you are being, someone wants to replace you. And I know a lot of times we watch videos or readers or whatever, and it's about like this copycat energy. It's about someone trying to take your place. And the assumption is that it is another female. It is another female. It is a karmic female. But the message that I'm getting, this dog that I brought in, I thought it was a dog. For me, it represents a masculine, or what I thought was a masculine energy, right? It was a masculine, it was a male. And it's trying to bring out the dog in you. It wants to switch places with you. You are now the dog, and you're chasing that cat. They want you to be the dog and chase the cat. They don't want to have the masculine role. They want the feminine role. And they're doing things to bring out your masculinity, because remember, you guys, we are, all of us, we have masculine energy and we have feminine energy, right? Typically, for what we call like a divine feminine, even though it's preferred that you're balanced, with masculine and feminine, but you're still going to present yourself majority of the time as a feminine. You're going to be mostly in your feminine, you're going to have those feminine traits. You're going to play that feminine role majority of the time. Okay, sometimes you have to use your masculinity, but for the most part, you are feminine. You're here um, to receive. Is what it's better to. I'm hearing receive. You're here to receive. You're here to receive. But you're being bamboozled. You're being tricked by, I don't know if this is one male, one masculine, and I'm gonna say masculine. I'm using that because the package, the package of this person, the way that this person presents themselves is very masculine when you first meet them. The outside package is very masculine. That's how they get in. Where are they getting? The goal is to get into your home. The goal is to get into your heart. And then they want to flip the switch. Flip the switch. They want to flip it. And they want you to do all of the giving. And they want to do all of the receiving. So they want to be you, not, they want to be you. They come in, and again, I don't know if this is just one person in particular that is in your life, or whoever this is for, or if this has been a vicious cycle of men or masculines coming into your life, and that is the lesson that you're not getting. They're coming in. I'm hearing love bombing. They're coming in bombing, love bombing you, chasing you, using all of their masculine traits that they can muster, but it's very temporary. Because once they get in there, how to train your dragon is what I'm hearing. How to train your dragon. They're going to train you. You are the dragon. They're going to train you. They're going to train you to be their masculine. And they're ready to be your feminine. Tricking. They're here to trick you. Role reversal. They want to reverse the roles. But that's not your destiny. That's not the path that you're meant to be on. So be careful. I'm being reminded of one of the versions of the story that I heard about Lilith, who is said to be Adam's first wife. His actual other half. Not, no. I'm sorry, not half. She is a whole, and he is a whole. They were created complete and whole, separate yet together. She did not come from a part of Adam. She was created by the Most High at the same time as Adam. And they had a falling out. She represents independence. She wanted her independence. And the story is that she ran away and she went to a cave, a dark cave. And she's what a lot of people, there are a lot of stories and perceptions about her, but she is considered the dark feminine, the dark feminine, because, and I guess that goes along with her being in a cave, right? And some stories say that she started having babies with Lucifer, I think. I don't know. So she's considered to be dark. And it's interesting because, I told you I was like with this, I was trying to figure out like, what is this? What did that even mean with that dog/cat dream, right? And two cards came out at the same time, which are, this one says, the lost star rebirth, out of the darkness into the light. Out of the darkness into the light. With Aquopius, the seer, visionary, I chart the stars, signs, and symbols to craft magic. And they came out together, and what I was getting from that, thinking of Lilith energy, right? Who is supposed to be the darkness. She's supposed to be the dark feminine. She was hidden away. Is she dark because she's just dark? I mean, was she created to be? I mean, she was created in the image of God, right? So how is she dark? How is she the dark feminine? She's just the feminine. How could she be a dark feminine? She is the feminine. She was placed in darkness, hidden in darkness, shrouded in darkness. Dirty little secrets, dirty little secrets. And what I'm getting is that divine feminine, it's time for your true divinity. It's time for you to be reborn, and it's time for you to show your true divinity. the hidden parts of you. They're in the dark. In the spiritual world, we talk a lot about the light, the lights, the lights. But there is a dark story, a dark part of you that is hidden, and it's time for it to come, for you to truly be complete, to take back your story. You need to bring it, you need to come back into the light. And you may be receiving signs, synchronicities from the universe that's asking you to come out, trying to get you out. Who is that karmic female? Like who is the karmic female? What happens when you split an atom? What happens when you split an atom too many times? What happens when you clone something too many times? What happens to those copies? Who's really the darkness? Who's really dark? I don't know. Feminine, divine feminine. I was about to say dark feminine. Divine feminine or dark feminine. It's time for you to come into the light. There's some things that you need to ask, some questions you need to ask. You need to go within. The universe is trying to tell you something, to enlighten you, shed light on something. Shed light. They want to bring you back into the light, and they want to shed light on something and restore balance. But look at their faces below. They are not happy about balance being restored. Who loses? If you discover who you are, your true divinity, who would lose? I don't know. There's information that you need to hear, that you're going to be enlightened about, that's going to restore balance. And it is going to be bittersweet, because what I'm feeling is that it'll be a time to celebrate. But once you find out the truth, the true plan, the true plot, the true scheme, he's not who you think he is. So yeah, you get it back, you get your divinity back. You get to come out of that dark cave. But you find out that the person you thought was your divine masculine, or the divine masculine, or the concept of the divine masculine, I don't know. It's not what you thought it would be. Or the masculine is not who you thought he would be. Switch. You're being asked to use your instincts, to go back to your instinctual self. Use your instincts. Discover the truth. It's not what you think it is. He's not who you think he is. You're not who you think you are. You're so much more. The last set that I'd used. Action. I'm hearing lights, camera, action. It's about to get good. The story's about to get really good. But you have to take action. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Because you get to come home. You get to come out of that cave. You get to come home. I get that this cave is like, you know, it's of course it's not an actual cave, but there is a part. I'm hearing inner childhood. There's like your inner child. It's thinking of all the things that they tell us that ladies and girls do not do. And you have to take those things and you have to bury them. You have to bury them away, and you can't do them ever again because you're labeled as a certain type of female if you display those characteristics. All the fun, all the joy, slowly being sucked out of life. You're having to hide those parts of you away in a cave, and for each of us it might be something a little bit different, but a little bit the same. 222. But you have to make this mission, you're in 007, this mission and yourself a priority. That's what you're being called to do. You have to make this mission of self-discovery. You have to make yourself the absolute priority. The moral of the story. That's the moral of the story. Not your masculine. Not the karmic. Just you. You're what's important. You're the priority. And you need to balance that, because part of that, I'm just looking at the gems, and I'm sorry, you guys, I've been trying to take these nails off for a while, but prioritize yourself, your journey, and your bank account. Doesn't mean to bash men. It doesn't mean that you have to stay away from men. Doesn't mean you have to be like celibate, and you don't have to put yourself in like another cave to come out of the cave. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. You're still being asked to be you while discovering you, to be seen, to shed light, to shine your light. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You have to keep shining, you have to keep going. So you're not to be hidden away. I'm hearing hermit. Like we hear a lot about the hermit mode. You're not to hide away. We're not hiding away. You're discovering. You have to be out in the trenches and discover. Community came out in reverse, and I'm getting that you're going to lose people along the way. You're going to lose people along the way, but you've been losing people along the way, right? You've started the journey at all. Intuition, High Priestess, intuition. It doesn't smell right, look right, taste right. Keep your eye open. Keep your eye open. Your eye. Keep it open. It's going to help you to make the right choices. It's going to help you make the right choices. It's going to open up a lot of choices, a lot of options for you. As you go along this journey, there's defense, and so I'm hearing defense mechanism, but I'm actually seeing how I'm seeing boundaries. Like it's about boundaries. Keep your boundaries up. You're not hiding from people. You don't have to cast people away. You have to speak your boundaries and stick to your boundaries, period. Dropping people every time they overstep boundaries, just dropping them without a word, cutting them off, ghosting them. I mean, I do that. I've done that, right? We've all done that. Without stating your boundaries, without letting them know that they have overstepped a boundary, does not help you grow. If you've stated to them that they've overstepped a boundary, if you have defined your boundaries for that person and they choose to overstep them, that's different. Cut it. You need to cut it. That's what I'm hearing. You need to cut it. But if you have not identified your boundaries, shared your boundaries, and let the person know, I'm cutting you off because you have overstepped this boundary, you have growing to do. Sensitive. It says sensitivity. And what I'm getting is it doesn't mean to cut them off right away if they overstep a boundary, especially if you are the type of person who has allowed people to overstep boundaries time and time again, and now you're taking your power back. So you can say, hey, you've overstepped your boundaries. These are the boundaries that you've overstepped. This is your one and only warning. If you do it again, I'm cutting you off. I don't know why I'm talking about that. It has something to do with emotional stability. And I'm looking at this chair. It looks like it's fit for a queen, king, emperor, empress. It's fit. So you have to stay stable. While you're doing this, while you're setting those boundaries. Because you're ending this cycle. I'm feeling like you're ending a karmic cycle, a cycle that is about lessons that you had to learn. You're ending, that's what you're working towards, to end that cycle so that you can begin your new cycle, which has to do with all things great. All things great for you. It's what you deserve. All things good, all things great. Because they're your treasures. It's your abundance. It's your wealth. It's your prosperity. It's your inheritance that someone's been trying to take from you. And it has something to do with that. Your legacy, someone's trying to take it from you and they're trying to hide you, keep you. They're not trying, they have been. They've kept you hidden away. And if you allow them to, if you don't take action, you're going to stay hidden away in that little cave. Another thing that I'm hearing is, let's go back to that dream. I thought I saw Putty Cat. I did saw Putty Cat. Whoever this is for, that masculine, that whoever this male is in your life, or if you see the pattern of the same type of male that comes into your life, there's a fly in here, and it's just like right there, like it's trying to listen. It's so funny, so nosy. But it's not. I'm trying to see if it's gonna get on the camera. That's interesting. It's not really a masculine at all. It's a feminine. It's always the cat. He was always the cat. The one that you think is your divine masculine has always been a putty tat. Someone who loves to receive things from you. They might give, okay? They might give you things starting out, but it becomes less and less. They might talk about taking care of you and giving you the world. They never do. They don't have a problem with asking you for things, and when you don't give it, it's the guilt trip, right? That's part, because you're all love and light, because you've hidden your darkness in the cave. You're all love and light, so they can use that loving light and keep restarting for some reason. That was That's what it's always been about. I'm sorry, I was describing this person, okay? Um, I'm being, I don't know, it's just kind of being brought to my attention about females who love to fight other females over men. And what you don't pay attention to is that they love it. They love the masculine loves every minute of that. Right? Because I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, if I used to read like a lot of historical romance or just like any of those medieval type movies where, like the knights, there are two knights and they're fighting for the princess or, whatever. Your masculine likes when you guys fight because he wants to be the princess. He wants to be the princess. And you guys, I'm not talking about sexuality at all. This has nothing to do with sex. This is for people that, feminine, pay attention. If your masculine likes to get prettier than you, meaning And there's no, like, we want our men to look good, right? But if they focus more on hair, clothes, some of them it's makeup, I don't know, whatever, skin care, you know, like all of those things, like, yes, take care of yourself, but it's on a level that's even higher than what you even care about. Not a wrinkle in sight. They want to be, I don't know, adored and adorned, right? They like it when you show them off. If you stop and think about it, their traits are very feminine. And there's a story that's being told. Here's a story. I don't know. Where you're the angry female. You're very masculine in nature. They, I don't know who they are, but they want you to feel like you are masculine. They want you to be okay with being masculine, with you being the giver, the provider. And the trick of it is you still have to be the nurturer and the provider. So what's his role? What's his purpose? Who are you chasing? It's time for you to be chased. It's time for you to receive. Period. Let's see. I looked over and I see a card that says complacency. You've been complacent for way too long, Divine Feminine. You've already been pre-trained. All the women independent. Already been pre-trained. I'm shuffling. Trying to forget you is what came out. It says trying to forget you. Just makes me think about Lilith in the cave. We're going to make up gossip and slander her name, and we're going to say that she's dark. She's a dark feminine in her dark cave. And any feminine who doesn't want to be labeled as such needs to hide all that darkness, never to be seen again. You have to walk around. It says dangerous masquerade. Why is it dangerous? I think it's dangerous because we are light and dark energy. We're masculine, we're feminine, we're dark, and we're light. You've only been living in your life. Girl who knew too much popped out. It popped out the last time. I don't know if that's supposed to be me. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what that means in this case. The girl who knew too much. Someone knows too much. All of that twin flame stuff about the runner and the chaser, you're never, never, never meant to chase. If at any point, I'm sorry, if at any point, if at any point you are chasing, you're running in the wrong direction. What popped out was husband trap. And see, when we think about husband trap, we think about the female who is trying to trap the masculine, the female trying to trap the male, feminine trying to trap the masculine. No, you don't get it. You don't see it. The trap is being set for you. Not only is the husband trying to trap you, but the masculine is trying to trap you in the role of the husband. Let's do the housewife. There's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want, if that's what you agree to, there's nothing wrong with it. But do you agree to it? Is that what you want? That's when it becomes a problem. Is that what you were meant to do? The life you were meant to live? That's when it becomes the problem. Because sometimes, like sometimes we're in a feminine form, in a female form, and we're divine masculine, I guess, and vice versa. And that works. But when you're a divine feminine, and someone wants to make you the divine masculine, unmasking deception against your will, against your will, that's the problem. Wake up. Wake up. It's not another female trying to take your role. It's the person you think of as your masculine. You don't even know it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Misty with the Oracle Evolution. If this message, please be sure to hit the thumbs up, to comment, subscribe to my channel, share the video if it resonates with you. And you know what? Even if it doesn't, I love you so much. Please be sure also to check out my website, theoracleevolution.org. So I've been working on a website. I have some blog posts. It's really cool. And one thing that I do, like when I do my blog posts, they're kind of like readings. So I'm using my Oracle and Tarot cards. And that's how I come up with my writing for my blog posts. It's awesome. So please be sure to check it out. I also have some Oracle decks. Sorry, it kicked me off a little bit again. So I like Oracle and Tarot decks up there, as well as, and some of them are just, like decks, but that other people have created. Some of them are my own Oracle decks. And I also have a really cool one, along the spiritual journey, you guys, and this is off of the reading, but I just feel like sharing this. But along the journey, like I've discovered a lot of things about myself, a lot of gifts and talents, just like I'm sure that you have as well. And one of mine has had to do with herbs, and it's been very interesting. And I created this kind of manifesting oil, and it was, I thought I did really good with it. And it turns out, my brother had been using it. I'm like, what the heck? And he was like, yeah, this hair growth oil that you created is awesome. And so he's been using it. His hair has grown a lot. And he is a barber, so he's been taking it to his barber shop and he uses it on his on his clients as well. So it's just a hair growth oil. If you're interested, that's on the website as well. It's one that I create. I was actually led to, I started off with a recipe, and then I was kind of led to add these other ingredients that I don't share with anyone. And I was just led to add those into the mix for some reason. And so I thought it's pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, please go to theoracleevolution.org and check out the store. And, you can purchase some there, and let me know how you like it. How you like it, Daddy. Anyways, yeah. So go ahead and do that. All right. Thanks again for watching. I love you so much. You guys have a fantastic, fantabulous day. All right. Bye.